So the Open Storybox program uses the Reggio Emilia approach to learning. So Kathy, can you tell us a little bit about the Reggio Emilia approach to learning and how it began?
Sure. So John, Reggio Emilia is not a person. Reggio Emilia is a town in the centre of Italy. After the Second World War, the women of the town wanted to find a nice educational space for their children to go to after their town had been destroyed by the war. So the women started collecting gun casings that were made of brass and started melting them down. They started chipping mortar off bricks and selling all of those things to raise money so that they could build a beautiful education space for their children.
So the aesthetic, that environment is really key to a Reggio Emilia approach?
It's very important, and the Reggio Emilia approach was implemented and designed by a man called Loris Malaguzzi. And Loris Malaguzzi had done a lot of research in the area, and he'd been to the United States and worked with a lot of the theorists at the time, and he came back to Reggio Emilia and started putting into place these beautiful aesthetic buildings for the children to learn in. And it was important to make the environment very aesthetically pleasing and to bring the outdoors in and the indoors out and to sort of blend those two environments. So the environment became like the third teacher. So there was the parents, there was the teachers, and there was the environment. It's something important to note about the Reggio Emilia approach is that real life objects are used in the classroom. So there might be glass jars with glass little baubles that the children can use for classifying activities or to use in their play-based learning. The children are entrusted with the Reggio Emilia approach. Children are looked at with respect and as being strong and capable and very competent learners.
And what are the key principles of a Reggio Emilia approach to learning?
Well, one of those key principles, I guess, is what I've just said, with the environment being seen as the third teacher, the children being seen as strong and capable learners, the teacher or the pedagogue being used as a facilitator for the learning and using a project-based approach.
So the teacher, they're facilitating the learning from the student's interest?
Yeah, so the learning comes from the children. It can be guided by the teacher, but the teacher and the children co-construct. So together they'll brainstorm and they'll work out different ways to achieve the outcomes that the children are wanting to achieve. Of course, the teacher helps to guide the pathway that the children follow, but it's really based on the children's interests.
And with a Reggio Emilia approach to learning, how do you track the learning and how does that work?
Well, that goes back again to one of the principles, John, because documentation is a very, very important part of the Reggio Emilia approach, and that is not documenting things as some people might know it as assessment and tests and keeping work samples, although we all need to do that as well. But the documentation that is talked about in the Reggio Emilia approach is usually produced in documentation panels or documentation walls where the journey is recorded. So where the children start in the learning journey. So if they're learning about a particular aspect, you might take photos and the children might do drawings and the teacher might write or scribe what the children are dictating about the learning that's taking place at that particular stage, and then you'll move to the next stage and you do the same sort of thing. And over the time of the learning journey, you create a whole picture. So it paints a picture of the children's learning and it's documented on these big walls. So the learning's made visible. That's another principle. Learning's made visible to anyone who walks into the classroom, but particularly to the parents, the teachers, and most importantly to the children, so the children can see how their learning has progressed and where they might need to go next to increase their learning. So all in all, it's a lovely approach to learning, and we've embedded that into the Open Storybox project.
And are there any similarities or connections that you see as an early childhood teacher with drama-based pedagogy and drama-based learning?
The Reggio Emilia approach incorporates all forms of the arts, so drama, music, it incorporates play-based learning, science. All of those things can be integrated within the one learning project. So you're asking about the relationship between drama and the Reggio Emilia approach? Yeah, there's similarities there for sure. So we hope that you enjoy using the Reggio Emilia approach in our Open Storybox project, and there's heaps of information on the web if you want more information.